off of her say. Can I just say that Popo ain't around? Yeah. Get up on the track now, running like I'm bold. Ain't no going back now, times are getting cold. Lately I've been fast, yeah, looking for that gold. Prayed up on that podium and ran away from home. Yeah, cars on cans on cold. They told me that's the drop, I don't see why I can't go on now. All my friends designing and at times I feel alone. Yeah, take it with the spice and now I feel like I can cope. Yeah, I'm on my feet, don't you get it? And all my riders coming with me. Baby, you know the times are...
Bitcoin breaks past 11K with a vengeance. The train just keeps on rolling. If you haven't been sitting in Bitcoin, you just don't like money. Meanwhile, Galaxy Digital plans to offer options contracts for crypto investors. BitGO partners with BitcoinIRA to potentially deliver us the best investment solution I've seen so far. JPM coin goes kinda live, and houses are being sold on the blockchain for fun. If you're interested in passive cryptocurrency income, then stay tuned for today's exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Welcome to Breaking Bitcoin Market Update, recorded live Tuesday, June 25th, 2019, foul year of our Lord, your daily source for market updates, sentiment, and news for professional traders. I am your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at crackingcryptocurrency.com. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic today, wherever you happen to be tuning in from, and whether you're tuning in from across YouTube, Twitch, Facebook Live, DLive, or of course streaming live on Roku at the Investor News channel. If you guys want to support the show and support the channel, make sure to like, follow, share, and engage in the live chat. All right, this episode of Breaking Bitcoin is brought to you by us. Are you an aspiring trader or an experienced trader looking to improve? The Cracking Cryptocurrency Premium Trading Group can help you maximize your potential. Our education focuses on risk management, technical strategy, capital preservation and growth, statistical analysis, automation, and lifestyle coaching. We provide reliable signals and setups for beginners and seasoned traders, in addition to supplying our team members with proprietary indicators, spreadsheets, audio and video coursework, and training and powerful tools, in addition to providing exceptional technical and customer support. Our community is a powerful resource for support, encouragement, and growth, whatever your trading style may be. To get started today and push your skills to the next level, visit premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. That's premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. All right, we've got a great show for you guys today. To begin with, I want to go, as I normally do, over the Premium Trading Group updates from yesterday. So I uploaded yesterday morning's VIP Ask Me Anything, along with a document containing all topics covered and the original questions submitted by our members. That is live in the Premium Presentations folder for subscribers. The topics that we covered yesterday were Bitcoin margin funding rates and data and its effect on price, long wicks above Quadrigo's long qualifier and its effect on entering into a position, is the current Bitcoin movement a sucker's rally, a real analysis of this concept, will I release the Mink script for backtesting purposes, the best methods to manage risk with multiple trades concurrently, nuances of trading on Coinbase, including capital considerations, will crypto overtake the function of cash in society, thoughts and topics on Facebook's Libra coin, risk management conversations, considerations for taking multiple low-cap coin trades, ByBit's instruments and a walkthrough of that. Are there benefits to trading as an LLC or to incorporate yourself as a trader? We talked more about crypto taxation from a trading perspective. We talked about 3 commas, what to set take profits and stop loss as, and then we also covered sentiment data, nuances, and sources. In addition to that, I moved the previous VIP Ask Me Anything to the Premium Start Pack, so premium members who missed the live stream live can review it. That video was very important to our members because included in that video, we did a live walkthrough of me trading on 3 commas, utilizing PTP strategy, so how to set your entry, stop loss, take profit. We went through me giving a live demonstration of trading workflow, so from going from charts to execution on the exchange or 3 commas to walking away from the computer, which is my workflow. We did a live demonstration of using the advanced position size calculator and trading journal. We also did a live demonstration of utilizing our Quadriga position size indicator, as well as what alerts to set after entering a trade, what to do when you're actively managing a trade, the one thing you need to do when you have an active trade open if you are not in your trading window where you're going to be modifying positions or putting new positions on, how to quickly move from Bitcoin to USDT with 3 commas, live example, how to utilize the ATR percentage, why should we use our account balance for position sizing pursuant to the rules, examples of early exit signals, should we use Heikinashi or Japanese candlesticks for our analysis. We also do a full breakdown and analysis of Renko charts, and then we did our live Ask Me Anything session. So that was a great time. I always love getting with the premium members and doing the Ask Me Anything session every weekend. We did yesterday's a day later than we normally do, so it was nice to get a different crowd in there from across the pond. So as we progress, guys, just one thing I want to mention: if you guys want to catch the full show notes of today's show and every other show, or if you want to catch the podcast after the live show is over, you can of course find that on your favorite podcast catcher or over on our show notes at breakingbitcoin.crackincryptocurrency.com. We are on iTunes. We would highly appreciate it if you go over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review. It does help push us up in the rankings, and it gets this information in front of people. Now, the ByBit trading competition is live. Yesterday's full results are logged. Now, because ByBit has to manually go through and check everything, the leaderboard is going to be updated every 3 days. It's going to be automated for the next one to the best of our knowledge, so I'm looking forward to that. However, as far as I know, as far as everybody in the group taking daily trades, they should be on fairly equal playing grounds because our Bitcoin long did just hit take profit 3. Now, we talked yesterday about the early exit signal. We decided with a bit of discretion to go ahead and keep our position open to the long side with a trailing stop loss. So it was a great trade, guys. Congratulations. Yet another successful Bitcoin trade. I want to thank our current Discord Nitro boosters. Everybody is currently helping out with the server. If you'd like to help out boost our server, you can of course do that if you have Discord Nitro by coming to discord.crackincryptocurrency.com and selecting our server to boost. We would highly appreciate that, and you get a special role in the server for doing so to show our appreciation. Yesterday's crypto giveaway winner was You Go Chill, my good friend. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you so much. And we're going to start today's show off like we always do with our crypto giveaway and then getting right into the charts. Let's go. All right, so here we are on the live scene, and I got to come over here to D-Live and thank so much Kimchi. Thank you so much for the 3 lemon donation, my good friend, and Armacita. What's going on? Thank you guys so much for the support over there. Who778i, thank you so much for the follow over there on Twitch, my good friend. And one thing that I need to do, sorry guys, is just pull open Streamlabs, or Streamlabels, sorry. Okay, cool. Got that open. They're crypto. Drop my phone. Drovis1, Jadasman RJD. Thank you guys so much for the subscriptions over there on YouTube as well. Welcome to the community. Do I think the EMN? No, I generally think the MEN. Mr. Ether says, sometimes I see a 50% drawdown before a boom. 2 steps forward, 1 step back, man. That is how an equity curve should grow. Okay, so let's pull open. Thank you so much, Wayne. We're going to pull open yesterday's video. Come over here to our comment picker. And yesterday's video was America to nuke Facebook. We talked about Zcash ultimatums, Bitfinex introducing 100x leverage, and why we as Americans need to focus on decentralized exchange liquidity. All right, so loading comments from yesterday's video. Wait a second, is this it? Yeah. And I just want to point out, guys, if you guys did not look, go and look at the thumbnail from yesterday's video. Scott does such an amazing job on our thumbnails. I constantly am just blown away with how professional and how amazing they look. But if you look closely at yesterday's thumbnail, you'll actually see that there's a whale in the sky and with strings is holding up a Bitcoin and then the price of Bitcoin. I mean, it's just him slipping little nuances like that in North. It's just awesome. So shout out to you. All right, F Dishi12, thank you so much for participating. You are the winner of the YouTube Random Comment Picker Crypto giveaway. Get a hold of me in the Discord at JustinWise, hashtag 5696, and I will tip you some crypto. So guys, if you want to participate, just leave a comment in the YouTube after the show. You do have to wait till the show is processed, and you can participate and win some crypto. So thank you so much, FDishi, and let me note that down in the notes. Okay. Moving right along with the analysis of the current price of Bitcoin. So here we are on the daily time frame. Now, Bitcoin currently trading at around 11,374.05. Just a fantastic thing to wake up to, continuing to see my USD value rise up. Now, hopefully we have understood and drilled into individuals' heads the importance of the baseline and what it does, the importance of knowing when to move in and out of Bitcoin pursuant to price's relationship to the baseline. As you can see, we talked about the difficulty of catching a full risk long position to the upside. However, we use the baseline to tell us when we should be in Bitcoin and when we should not. So on the close of this candle back on the 12th, so the opening of the 13th candle, we did move into Bitcoin, and we've been in Bitcoin sitting ever since with our wealth ever since, and Bitcoin is currently up 38%, meaning anybody following the rules is up 38% on their entire equity for the purposes of this month. Congratulations, guys, doing very well. And honestly, that has been one of the biggest backings. I mean, making 40% on your equity per month is twice what Warren Buffett returns in a year. And again, I'm on here every single day pointing out the realistic nature of trading, talking about the real statistics, talking about the real percentages, and talking about what you realistically need to look for and try to aim for as far as a realistic income for a trader. Making a living as a professional trader in cryptocurrency is absolutely possible. The margins are very high. The spreads are very low. The cost to entry is very low. The fees are increasingly low. This is why, honestly, I think this whole obsession with limit orders in cryptocurrency and this whole conspiracy theory around market orders versus limit orders on platforms like BitMEX is absolutely ridiculous. If you are taking on a $10,000 position, then you should have the capital that justifies taking on a $10,000 position. So this is what you're going to hear. Cool Yench, thank you so much for the follow over there on Twitch, my good friend. So let's talk about why there is this conspiracy theory around market fees and why they're so high, and anybody that I almost exclusively use market orders for all my entries. Why? Because I don't care about optimizing my price, optimizing my entry price. My strategy does that for me, right? I make more money by just taking all signals that my system gives me and then managing my exit, which is way more important than your entry, than fiddling around and trying to get an extra 1 or 0.5% or 0.25% better entry. It's ludicrous, right? It is absolutely ludicrous. And if market fees are destroying your profits, then there is nothing wrong with the market entry. There is something wrong with your trading strategy. That is the point. So the reason why people are going to say, well, the common example, I think there's a lot of Medium articles, we've actually talked about it before on the show, is, well, if you take on a $10,000 position size with $1,000, then you're going to pay 15% of your margin in fees. Yeah, but you stand to make like 300%. So I think your analysis is completely short-sighted. Plus, you probably shouldn't be putting on a $10,000 position with $1,000 anyways, because that is excessively high risk. Now, depending on the distance to your stop, that could be an okay position size. It all depends on how much you stand to lose should your stop loss get triggered. And then you just simply adjust your leverage to be able to take that position size, remaining within your stop loss above your liquidity or your liquidation your liquidation price if you're going long, or below your liquidation price if you're going short. Michael Weston, what's going on, man? Thank you so much. So, TLDR, to sum that up, if your market entries are chopping up your profits, then it's not the market, it is your trading strategy. So we need to work on that. Now, let's look at what we've got going on. We did get a take profit long signal on yesterday's daily close, just as I expected that we would, from both MINX, which is our sensitive exit indicator, as well as our RVGI, which is our less sensitive indicator, giving you an indication that you should go ahead and exit out of price. Now, had you done that, you would have missed out on the 3% profit from today. So is that something to sneeze at? No, it's not. But let me just point out that, again, the initial long signal from MINX was back here on the 13th. So again, arguing with MINX over taking 34% profit as opposed to 37% profit is kind of ludicrous in my professional opinion. However, we did decide last night in the group, since we're already in a no-loss position, we tightened up a trailing stop and we let that baby run. So typically what we'll often do is move our trailing stop loss to a previous take profit level so that we will lock in the maximum potential of that profit. Now, we've already hit take profit 3, so we are out of the Bitcoin long trade, at least I am, so I'm no longer in a full risk position on Bitcoin with a leveraged position open on ByBit. However, I still am sitting in Bitcoin. I don't have a short open. I am just merely sitting long on Bitcoin. Now, we're going to talk about different nuances. Of course, you guys know that I don't trade reversals, so there's really nothing that I'm going to do to take a reversal trade. Now, I will, from time to time, take discretionary reversal trades. I have a system for that. I have a strategy. It is strategic. It follows PTP methodology because, again, trend following is not an aspect of PTP. PTP is how to design a system that is verifiable, backtestable, and that you can apply filters to increase its proficiency in the market. There's nothing to stop you from trading reversals PTP style. In fact, one of the analysts in our group is a reversal trader and trades reversals utilizing PTP. Now, I am not a reversal trader. I am a trend following trader because I've done the analysis and I've realized that trend following trading is more profitable than reversal trading. It doesn't matter if you miss out on the most lucrative short by catching price at the top. Your failure rate is so high that the opportunity cost takes away that in my analysis. That is the statistics, and I trade based off the statistics. So, statistics. Did I mispronounce it again? Statistics. There we go. Thank you so much. English is my primary language, but at times acts as my tertiary language. Moving right along, we did get a take profit long signal yesterday on Minx, which we did not respect 100%, but we did respect it insofar as you have to evaluate whether your trade is in a no loss position. So if your trade is already in a no loss position, then there is really, you have to, it's a coin flip, right? Price could continue to go up or price can come down and hit my stop loss. And if your stop loss is stopping you out in profit, there's really nothing wrong with going ahead and letting your winner run. And that's exactly what we did. I'm glad that we did because we did hit our last take profit. And so far now the trade is closed out very successfully. So we will wait for a further signal based on that fact. So just based statistically, generally you can see that this is a deviation from the mean here where we only have one candle of pullback. And that's where we do receive the take profit long. If you will note on that very candle on the 18th of June coming down here to RVGI, we actually were told to stay in the trade from RVGI, so that is a good thing. Now, continuing to move along, what typically does happen, though, statistically, is when we do get a take profit long signal from RVGI, is we do get a pullback. Okay, so RVGI, I use it as a take profit indicator, but most individuals are going to be using it as a reversal entry indicator. So when the white line crosses under the black line, when price, when you're overbought, I guess would be the term, again, determining those overbought levels. Again, if we kind of scroll this back, you can see that the overbought level is about 0.5. And the oversold level is around negative 0.5. But again, I would argue that the correct oversold level is going to be, when we get to negative, like negative 3.8, negative 3.6, that seems like a good clear sign of reversal. And generally, statistically, when we get above 3.8 to the upside, that is reversal as well. So price currently sitting at 0.4282 and 0.4514 respectively on our RVGI levels. So that is well above your typical reversal zone. So typically when RVGI does cross over, you are statistically more likely than not to get a pullback, and I don't take that pullback to the downside because the failure rate is still too high in reversal trading. There are problems with reversal trades, but it does tell me to get out of my position and look for another re-entry when price is a little bit closer to the baseline and sit this one out. Now, does that mean that I am saying that Bitcoin is going to have a pullback? No, I don't predict price. What I am saying is that I'm out of a long position and I will wait for another signal to re-enter into a long trade because I am still very biased to the long side, and it will take price closing below the baseline for me to be biased to the short side, just as I was biased to the short side over here. Again, we went short Bitcoin here, went 1x short right here, protected our capital, took a full risk short that was actually a losing trade. But again, because of RVGI, we actually got the opportunity to get out basically at break even on that trade. And then we got right back into Bitcoin when we broke back above and prices appreciated, improving our bottom line this entire time, and then giving me the signal to take a full long when it did about 4 days ago now. So, happy trade in and out of the markets like a ninja, like a stealthy ninja. Bruce Masters says, what percentage do I use for my trailing stop? It depends on volatility. It's every trade is going to be different, my friend. How does a trailing stop work? It is just very, very simply, it is a stop loss so here's your stop loss. Okay. So say price is here. I'll just show you. I'm trying to show you with my hands. It's just easier to show you with lines. Okay. So let's say this is the current price of Bitcoin. And, let's say you entered right here when I entered. So, okay. So here's the green line. We're going to make this line green. So the green line is where you bought, okay? And then let's say you set a profit target here and then set a profit target here, okay? So we'll make the cyan lines our profit targets. So that's maybe what, like, let's say 50 or 60% of your position at your profit targets. And then your stop loss you would set down here, okay? So we'll make yellow. Yellow is going to be our stop loss, all right? So the way that I trade is if I enter price here and price hits my first take profit, my stop loss goes right here. So now my trade is a no-lose trade. There's no way I can lose money on my trade because I've already taken profit. And the worst that can happen is price comes back down and hits my stop loss, meaning I've sold a portion of my position here and I've sold a portion of my position back at break even, meaning that my average sell price is going to be somewhere between here. And that number is going to be dependent upon the percentage of my position that I sold at my first take profit level. So similarly, if I hit a second take profit target and then price comes back and hits my break even stop loss, then again, my average sell price is going to be higher because it's going to be based on the percentage that I sold here and the percentage that I sold here. So setting a trailing stop loss works. So let's just say when you hit take profit 2 here, you set a trailing stop loss for like this far away from price, okay? And so what a trailing stop loss will do is as price moves up, your trailing stop loss will move up as well. And then when price stops and begins moving down, your trailing stop loss does not move down. Your trailing stop loss only will move up as price moves up and will not move back down. It will not go back down whatsoever. So if price pulls back down a little bit and doesn't hit your trailing stop and then starts moving up, your trailing stop loss will move up more. And then when price does eventually come back down and hit your trailing stop loss, it stops you out of the trade and you're out at profit wherever that happened to occur. So I utilize trailing stop losses typically around take profit 3 or take profit 2 sometimes. It depends on the market. But that is how a trailing stop loss works. Now with 3 commas, you can actually set a trailing take profit stop loss, which is what I do for every single trade. So when your last take profit price target gets hit, instead of selling at that target, you're expecting that price will continue to push up. And so what will actually happen is that it will create a stop loss below price, which is a trailing stop loss, which will rise with price. So this is how we're able to take advantage of long, stupid, dumb altcoin wicks. What RBGI, where do I find it? It's a default indicator in TradingView. It's called RVGI. Top books for TA says Zen Fakir. I would recommend Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas, as well as Trade Your Way to Financial Freedom. Trade Psychology for a Living is really good. And the best book that I could recommend is Discipline Equals Freedom by Jocko Willink. How do you set a stop loss on Binance? I use 3 commas. Professor Wally, what's going on, brother? Binance does not have that feature, but 3 commas does and lets you use that feature on Binance. That's what I keep trying to tell you guys. You do not trade on Binance natively. You do not go to Binance.com. You do not go to the Binance app on your desktop. You do not go to the Binance app on your phone. It sucks, okay? It is like, it was created by a 5-year-old. There are no advanced order features. No serious trader utilizes the Binance platform. It is a joke. We all use Gunbot, 3 commas, anything that is going to give you advanced order features. You guys can use, if you guys want to check out Gunbot, Wally was kind enough to allow us the code of CC. You can use that at checkout, or you can check out 3 commas at 3commas.krakencryptocurrency.com. Those are the platforms that we use, and they allow us to get around the features that Binance is so dumb to not allow us to have. And you can use those same platforms on just about every exchange. I love crypto too, Ablash. Is a trailing stop loss available on ByBit? Yes, natively. I do trade on ByBit natively. I don't use any other platform to trade at 3 commas. Does that look like a double top at 11,400? Let's see. No, this would be more accurately determined if price breaks this swing low, which would actually be right here. And you could argue this hourly close right here. This would be considered a failure to achieve, i.e. swing failure pattern, i.e. Reversal type pattern. Okay, so not going to be doing anything with Bitcoin right now. I will still be sitting in Bitcoin until Bitcoin closes below the daily baseline. Daily baseline is currently sitting down around 9,924. And again, this is a cautionary tale to individuals that are measuring their growth for a buy and hold return against trading. Trading is more profitable because profit from trading is locked in at the time of sale. Let's go down to the lower time frames and look for potential opportunities. Wadatar is starting to die off with momentum here on the 12-hour. RVGI did get you out on this candle right here on the 12-hour. Take profit long here. Our sensitive stop loss got us out a little bit earlier, so nothing to do right now. We might be getting a continuation long in a little bit, but Minx is pointed down as is static, so we're going to need a bullish push to get a continuation long signal. However, a nice bullish push would probably generate one for us. We did get a continuation long on the 8-hour time frame right here. Nice bullish long push right here above the 8-hour baseline, so looking pretty good. And coming back down to our 4-hour time frame, gave us the most recent trade. We did get another continuation long over here. WADA did not confirm, and potentially that is a portion that is playing a role of your discretion. But you would have maybe been able to take it here. But if you would have taken it at the signal, you would have had a good trade. Probably hit a 2 of 3 take profits on that just from a cursory glance. Overall, price looks good, stalling out just a little bit as we move into the afternoon hours, which is pretty typical when we do the show. We're typically coming into kind of the stalled moment. We just had a very nice bullish push over the evening hours, pushing us up to the above the 11,000 area. So we'll see if we hit 12,000. Again, there's nothing that looks overly bearish about price. If we do go down to the hourly time frame, we can see a lower high in this period of sideways consolidation after a big sell movement. Now, again, this is always what it's going to look like before you see a big sell, because again, we reach a local top, we grab liquidity above a local high, and then we grab liquidity above a local high, as you can see we do here, and then there is a big sell. It is bought back up. We see if the buying pressure is more, it has more quantity than the selling pressure, than the individuals trying to unload their positions. What we can see here does look slightly negative because we have a high that grabs liquidity above a local high. We have a big sell movement that is bought back up, but on weaker buying pressure and lower volume, as we can see here, we make a lower high, a swing failure pattern. What is the delineation that I've talked about many times that denotes a swing failure pattern? It is taking out the swing low. Now, that swing low is pretty low, so that's going to get you into an unprofitable position. So for the price action traders out there, if we do close below 11,200, again, I'm not going to chide you if you take a short. That is going to be a price action short. And again, the more correct number would be 11,059, but you have to be careful about applying Forex price action trading discipline to cryptocurrency because, again, that is a very low swing low. So what is the profit opportunity and profit opportunity loss? Or excuse me, what is the risk management going to be by taking a trade by waiting for a close below 11,059 as opposed to entering earlier at 11,200? Again, that is a $100 difference, but it could matter if you are trading, especially on the hourly time frame. So just be cautious, just be careful. Not a reversal trade or not a trade that I will be taking, but I will point it out for the sake of clarity. You can actually see quite a similar thing here, for example. We look quite similar over here on the hourly chart. You can see not a fantastic example because this is more of a bullish rally, but the price action pattern is the same. You can see that we make a local high. We have a big sell movement. We have a buyback, right? So this long wick, that's a buyback because everybody bought from here to here because price did dump as low as here when somebody dumped their bags. We have a buyback all the way from here to here that cannot breach the high. So it is a lower high. It is a swing failure. It is a failure to achieve the high, and then that initiates selling pressure, and we have a fairly downside movement. We grab liquidity here above that price and have another movement to the downside, and then we have the buyback on higher pressure here. That buyback is what we just experienced over the course of the evening and in the early morning hours of today, and what we're seeing now is that same kind of pattern where we have a high, grab liquidity above this high, a big sell movement, a buyback on lower volume and weaker momentum, and then a failure to achieve a lower high, i.e. swing failure pattern. So this actually does, from a price action standpoint, from a subjective standpoint, look negative. Again, I don't like taking reversal trades, but I will just point that out for the sake. I wouldn't chide anybody if they looked to take a short at this point in time. There is always the danger of entering into a short here of a liquidity grab. Again, we've already had a liquidity grab, so how many do you get? Not every single movement to the downside is going to come coupled with a patented, beautiful saran wrap package stop loss hunt. That's not always the way that it works. So just be cautious. Just be cautious. All right, one moment, guys. How are you guys doing today? Let me know in the chat. Hopefully you're doing amazing. GBU Wally, man, thank you so much for the $20 super chat, my good friend. Coming in live, man, coming in hot. He says, Justin, I prefer a tool like Gunbot for stop losses instead of exchange-based ones to help remove stop loss being exposed to exchange admins. Don't want to be whale food when they go stop loss hunting? Your thoughts? Well, yeah, that is absolutely right. So that is one possible thing to consider as well. Again, I don't actually buy into the tinfoil hat conspiracy theory that brokers hunt your stop loss. However, that is a very popular theory. I think that overall exchanges I talked about this yesterday. I think that exchanges make much more money by bringing in volume and liquidity. I think that honestly, the amount of money that people think that are made on these like big liquidation moves, that's not the exchanges. That is market movers. That's whales. And the two are not necessarily the same because they have a different profit motive. So whales in an individual moment in time might make are going to be able to profit a lot off a small short movement in price. And exchanges could too if they were to collaborate. And it depends on what exchange you're trading on. So I don't think that Coinbase is doing this. I don't really think that Binance is doing this. I don't really think that Bitfinex is doing this. I don't really think that these things are happening. And this is just what I went over like yesterday when I was talking about Bitfinex using advanced or increasing to 100x leverage. There was a tweet where somebody was like, well, let me guess, man, you're going to print tether, you're going to dump liquidity, you're going to hit stop losses. I don't, honestly, because I've traded in all kinds of markets across all different places, I don't really think this happens. I for sure think that it is a probability on smaller exchanges. So if you're trading on, BitMEX or Hit BTC or, even I would say BitMEX for sure. So exchanges that are less auditable, and are just more jank in the first place, you're going to have a higher tendency of that. But again, it's very difficult to delineate whether that is actually the exchange or whether the exchange is just so low liquidity relatively that whales with lower capital who are even more malicious because there's no checks and balances on them, because the less liquidity in a market, the easier it is to manipulate. So it's probably just honestly a byproduct of low liquidity in the first place and having a thin order book. But you do bring up a fantastic point. So using a service like Gunbot or using a service like 3 Commas keeps your stop loss information off of the exchange. So that's not even an issue. So that is fantastic as well. So that is just a double layer of protection. And again, as I talk about, when you set up an exchange account, you should create a new email account. You should have 2-factor authentication on both your email and your exchange account. So 2 different 2-factor authentications that are required to break to actually access your funds. If you're going to use an API, no withdrawals. Make sure that you check your stuff regularly. Just be smart when it comes to updating and auditing your security protocols. So that is good. An extra layer of security is always good and necessary in cryptocurrency trading. So thank you so much for the super chat, man, and thank you so much for the engaging question, man. You're one of the good ones, brother. And Cool Yench, thank you so much for the follow over there on Twitch, my good friend. All right. It is over 9,000. Moon Cow, thank you so much for the follow over there on Twitch, my good friend. Dropping another little crypto guy in the ASIC down there. Thank you. Okay, so that's about it for our Bitcoin analysis. And let me get back to my show notes, guys. So it's a big day. We're going to talk about Ethereum as well. So let's get right into Ethereum. And Ethereum showing a little bit more bearish activity here over the daily. Now, as we move into the daily, we did get a take profit long on Ethereum yesterday, as we talked about. Now, this was one that I did respect as far as my I did have a small 1x long open on Ethereum, but that's closed out now. So actually, when you take a 1x long on an exchange, it's going to be very similar to it's actually a 2x long because you're already holding the underlying asset in the first place. So if you're just sitting in spot, you are 1x long by definition. So if you open up a 1x long position, then you are 2x long. So you're exposed to twice as much risk. So because you're already holding the underlying asset, now you're taking on a number of contracts similar equivalent to the USD value that you have. Doze Nell, man, thank you so much for the Twitch follow, guys. You guys are doing a big Twitch push over there today. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Welcome to the community, guys. Let me pull open Twitch, give you guys some sub love, man. Much love, guys. Throwing hands up from my good man UFG Kirk. And also throwing that spin Disker out from my girl Minx. You guys are great. All right. Great day to be alive, my dude. Armacito over there on D-Live. It is. Now, getting over to the Ethereum daily chart. Take profit long signal yesterday that, again, I did respect. And I'm very glad that I did because, again, it's all in hindsight, it's 2020. But you just respect the signal that your indicator gives you. Take profit long signal here after a continuation long trade here. Now, this is not a trade that I took. However, it would have been a profitable trade. Entering here and closing out at the close of this trade. Again, initial long signal over here on the 11th of June, 2019. So this was the move to go back into Ethereum and actually the long leveraged position in the first place, which again was a very profitable trade. Now, let's see and take a gander. If we take a look at RVGI, we don't have an exit signal yet. So if you are respecting the sensitive stop loss, or the less sensitive stop loss, then you're actually probably still holding onto your position. Now, what does concern me is that we've seen 3 days of sideways consolidation from Ethereum, followed by, or in the interim of that, so in the middle yesterday, we had a pretty steep sell to the downside, right? That was bought back. But if you guys will refer back to that price action analysis of a swing failure pattern, you can see the same thing here on the daily chart where you have a high, and then you have a grab for liquidity where your high goes just above your last local high, and then you have a big sell movement followed by a buyback on weaker momentum and volume that fails to attain the same high. This is what a reversal always looks like, swing failure pattern. Now, does that mean that I'm betting on a reversal for Ethereum? No. Price is still above the baseline, so still fundamentally bullish. The trend is still bullish. Wadatar explosion is still kind of bullish, but again, let's see where the daily candle closes, where the daily column closes on it, because Wadatar explosion closing a column below the explosion level is actually an early exit signal that you may or may not respect depending on your PTP methodology or what indicators you want to incorporate. You can incorporate whatever you want. The only difference is that PTP shows you how to methodologically backtest and implement it into a full-fledged and full-bodied strategy. What are the indicators on top you use with the TPL? No, that is Minx. That is my proprietary indicator. Wadatar explosion is a secondary indicator that I use, which you can see on the bottom of my screen. You can access that. That is free to use at indicators.crackingcryptocurrency.com. You're free to add it to your chart. I also have a Trading Crypto 101 video on how to utilize it in the YouTube playlist for our Trading Crypto 101 playlist. RVGI is a relative vigor index, volume oscillator. These are display indicators that are doing exactly what I do in person. Slightly different indicators than I actually use, but good ones for people to start with. All right, and then of course my baselines, which is also accessible at indicators.crackingcryptocurrency.com, CC Ima and CC Ichimoku as well. Thank you for the question, man, and thank you for following on Twitch, my good friend. I'm going to mispronounce this. I'm terrible at names, but Sherwani, I know I can do that one. I'm not sure about the first name, but thank you so much for joining us over there on YouTube. Welcome to the community. Okay, so moving right along. Okay, so daily on Ethereum, volume oscillator dropping below our zero line, RVGI not crossing under, but if we have another down day or if we close a little bit more bearishly, we are poised to actually give an exit signal. It just take a little bit more of a push down for RVGI to tell us to get out. And again, as I said yesterday, we already got the sensitive signal to exit our position. Let's descend into the lower time frames. As we can see on the 12-hour chart, we can see this failure to achieve right here, followed by the sell movement. Here was the initial down thrust that had a little bit more of an impressive buyback than Bitcoin, honestly. However, on these time frames, we do have to realize that Bitcoin was far more impressive, honestly, because Bitcoin actually rallied above this, and Ethereum is just consolidating and now seeming to begin its sell-off potentially. Again, still bullish as long as we're above the baseline, so just take that into account. Same here on the 8-hour chart. We'd actually get a continuation long signal. The WADA did not confirm that. Nothing really confirmed, actually. And price pulling back down to the 8-hour baseline. Going over to the 4-hour time frame, we did get a long signal here that I'm sure would have hit at least take profit 1 for us right here. Price closing below the baseline. Actually, we would have already been out of this trade because we would have been stopped at a break even after hitting take profit 1. So the 4-hour might potentially be signaling a short. We are closing below the baseline. Minx is lagging behind a little bit. However, what we could do is speed it up. But again, if you're going to speed it up, I recommend back testing that. Even sped up, it is not giving us an exit or a short signal yet. Wadatar, however, is. Volume oscillator did give us some good volume on this candle, but we are not getting we're not getting, in my opinion, impressive enough volume to take a short. However, from a price action analysis standpoint, again, we can see that same potential swing failure pattern and failure to achieve along with sideways consolidation. Now, I am biased to assume that when we consolidate at resistance after forming a new high, that when we consolidate, price will move up. We will generally have a pullback or a sell-off, and this is why trading reversals is the failure rate is so high. Because again, this is exactly what a reversal would look like, but then again, you have to weight that against the fact that from a statistical base, when you consolidate at resistance and put in that same type of pattern, that is often what a reversal followed by a quick bottoming and then a continued up thrust and breakout look like. So, Phillip Kruger says ZERP is doing some interesting stuff. Justin, can you check it out, please? Yeah, man. We will put that on our user submitted chart requests. Thank you so much. Hey, Sardar, how you doing? Navid says 8.8K Bitcoin transferred to Coinbase, possible dump incoming. Be careful, guys. All right. Let's move to the hourly on Ethereum, just to denote this a little bit better. So here is the consolidation more splayed out for us. As we can see on the hourly, we're actually about to get a 1355 exponential moving average cross under. And again, you guys know how strongly I feel about those crossovers. Those do generally fully confirm the movement of a trend when they happen on the time frame that you're trading. Again, we're nowhere near getting that on the daily. But again, as we can see, we did get the moving average crossover over here. And ever since then, just right to the races, 151% on Coinbase for Ethereum ever since that occurred. And before that, what did we have? We had the daily long signal from Minx getting us into this trade. We had the short signal from Minx here getting us into this trade, and the long signal from Minx getting us into this trade. And then Wadatar doing a fantastic job, as you can see here, of keeping us out of the chop, which is the most important. Probably whale alerts. On Twitter. Hyun Woo Lee. However, there's lots of tracking websites and the blockchain. All the data is on the blockchain, so they're just extrapolations of the blockchain. Everything's trackable. You can't move funds in cryptocurrency without people knowing. And a lot of people will use that information. As a fundamental standpoint for their trading purposes. That's inflow and outflow. Do I trade on BitMEX? I do trade on BitMEX. I don't trade Bitcoin on BitMEX. Neither do I trade Ethereum. I have moved over to doing the majority of my capital on ByBit. A lot of reasons. Ease of use, customer service, security. I do trade altcoins on BitMEX because that's the only place that I can access those markets. And actually, some of my most profitable trades right now are an EOS M19 short and a Litecoin M19 short. We also shorted Ethereum M19, ADA M19. Those trades are not open anymore, but again, they were very profitable and lucrative trades. So, moving right along. We did Ethereum, we did Bitcoin. Let's briefly glance at, this is another trade I put on, was Hypercash. So we're going to put Minx back up to 10.3. Hypercash did give us a continuation long signal. We just hit our third of 3 take profits, so congratulations to the guys in the group. Hypercash was a great trade. When you get on the right side of the market, things like this happen. So pumping up 50% so far just on this trade alone. Again, not representative of every single trade we put on, but just when we get on the right side of the market of our longs, good things happen. Good things just naturally happen. Let me actually check my 3 commas because my alert did go off earlier and I did move my stop loss to break even on that. And then there's no reason to set other alerts because there's no really reason to do anything else. But let's see here. Looks good. My trailing take profit is in progress actually on Hypercash BTC. So good. Let's actually check it out. Go, baby, go. If it pulls back right here, I'll still probably get at around 50%. A little bit of a sell-off right here. Let's see if it actually comes back. My TTP is only about 3% below price. So we are, yeah, it's right. Oh, it didn't trigger. Triggered. There we go. All right, moving on. Good trade, guys. Let's, I wanted to look at our long-term fundamentals. So let's look at longs and shorts. Okay, let's get rid of Quadrigo ATR. Now, we do have longs rising up, okay? So there's nothing bearish about longs right now. And again, I look at that as a leading indicator for good things. Now, of course, shorts are rising, meaning a lot of people are betting against Bitcoin, but stalling out with a little bit more momentum. So the pain that shorts are willing to incur is diminishing. You can just look at the momentum with which shorts are opening up compared to the momentum of which longs are opening up. Now, a lot of people are going to tell you that the only way that this data can be used is to trade reversals. That's nonsense. This data is best used by trend-following traders to actually confirm underlying sentiment that people are moving money into their funds. Now, again, it is true, you will see a spike in longs often before price does reverse to the downside because you have late-stage buying. But again, individuals have been saying that on every single rise. People who are obsessed with this style of trading will always say that on every single high that takes out some liquidity on Bitcoin or on any asset ever that has ever been traded, that reversal traders come and think that this is the only way to trade. So, having said that, although that is true, it is also true that more often than not, price continues on in the direction of the dominant trend. Trend does not reverse until the bend at the end. Now, again, that is generally a platitude because your system has to identify for you what the trend is and also when to enter and exit. That's exactly what PTP helps individuals do. That's exactly how I trade. What indicators do beginners need to focus on? Your entry indicator is going to be the most important thing. Doznal, yes, it's bybit.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Thank you so much for the support, my good friend. That's just bybit.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Cosmic Barrier, thank you so much for the follow over there on Twitch. You guys are really crushing it on that Twitch push today, man. Thank you so much. Anybody can use the link at our ByBit link. It's in the description down below, and you can get up to $60 in funds to trade on ByBit for. Let's check this out. Getting a nice buyback on Bitcoin right now. Okay, so we looked at longs and shorts. Let's also look at dominance, and we'll look at tether dominance, and then we'll move on to traditional markets. It is 12:51, so we're running a little bit late, but that's all right. A lot to talk about today because it is an exciting day for Bitcoin's price. Bitcoin dominance continues to rise. Again, what does that mean? Alt Bitcoin trades, very, very skeptical about them. They have to be perfect setups, in my estimation, to take. Just like with Hypercash, it was a perfect setup. Qtum was a perfect setup. And this is also really, really good generally for alt USDT pairs or alt USD pairs. Again, they're on a hit and miss basis, so they do have to be technically bullish. But again, this is a good confirming indicator because when money is flowing into Bitcoin, money will generally also flow into other USD pairs, as there are many algorithms and many traders that are going to automatically hedge up and grab a basket to hedge. Looking at tether dominance, again, good for price. So EMA, no. Actually, what the fact? That's not true. So although I will say that's a tough one, the baseline might be the best thing that you could add to your chart if above all else. So, but you have to understand the baseline is not the entry indicator. Minx is the entry indicator. And then there are multiple other components in the strategy as well. So I would say that if you put the baseline on your chart, a line, it could be any indicator. It could be Ichimoku. It could be a moving average. It could be a whole moving average. It could be the super trend indicator. There's lots of things. It could even be something that is, no, it does have to be on your chart. But I digress. To just let you know when price is bullish or bearish, and you only trade in the direction of the trend. So it is a line that sits on your chart. When price is below it, price is bearish, you only go short. When price is above it, price is bullish, you only go long. I don't trade reversals, typically. So that is going to be it. Just making that one change. Like, for example, I pointed out like one of the most profitable things that people in the group have done, and that is simply by knowing when to be in Bitcoin and when to not be in Bitcoin. Close below, not in Bitcoin. Close above, you get in Bitcoin. And again, that pays dividends. What's going on, Caribbean Crypto Show? So Tether dominance dropping is, again, very, very good for price, for the price of Bitcoin. It's also good for the price of altcoins as well. Scott, man, did you just say Qtum? So we're talking about the trades that we took last night. Yeah, Qtum. That's all well and good, of course, naturally. Actually, speaking of which, I need to make a quick adjustment to that. Thank you for pointing that out. Entry was not 382. Thank you. Cool. I feel like you missed the show, man. Because although Qtum, which is a trade we put on last night, is up 16%, we just talked about the hypercash trade that we just took, which was up 50% at its peak. But yeah, Qtum's looking good too, brother. So, with 5 minutes left in the show, let's go ahead and hop on over to traditional markets briefly. And we can knock out the S&P before we go to break. And then when we come back, we'll knock out our commodities, metals, and oils, Forex. And then we will jump into news of the day and then do user-submitted chart requests, as we always do. All right, so we're going to open up and look at the S&P 500 CFD on a Wanda. All right, so the S&P having a pretty okay pullback. Again, still quite bullish on traditional markets. We did get a continuation long over here on the 17th, which is a trade we would have taken. Again, confirmed also by Wada Atar with a rising explosion level for the purposes of discretionary position sizing, i.e. more risk. Price pushing to the upside, hitting, I believe it was just take profit 1 on that trade. Yes, take profit 1 on this wick. And we would now be, well, again, no, we're probably still right in that trade. I think price just barely scraped. Yeah, you can see that. Just barely scraped above our entry level actually there on our CFD trader. So actually still in a CFD long. Now, Minx did tell you to go ahead and get up on out of this position on this candle right here, which would have been a good thing to listen to. RVGI actually never crossed back up to the upside, so you would have been unable to use RVGI for this trade in the first place because we got the initial long signal here on the S&P. And then RVGI crossed under actually on this upthrust candle. So that's good. You know, you grab the meat of the trade, you leave the head and tails for the reversal traders. So we were able to grab about 3% on the most major indices of the market and left about 1.5% for the reversal traders, and that's just fine. Still bullish on the S&P 500. We are having a pullback to the daily baseline. As long as we maintain that pullback, things are good. Wadatar is, of course, printing a red bar now underneath the explosion level, which is also an early exit signal. So overall, S&P 500, no active trade to be taken right now. What we can see actually here is quite interesting. So here's the S&P 500. Here was our last swing high. And as you can see, what did price just do? Price just rated liquidity above that swing high and is now pulling back. Now, does that mean we're going to enter into a bearish trend? That is definitely what a reversal would look like, but that is no indicative indication that we are for sure entering into reversal territory. Closing below the baseline would be the confirmation of that and give you plenty of opportunity to move down. Michael Weston, take it easy, brother. JT says, Jaybird, what do you think about a 30 to 40% downswing off the 6.18 down to 75 BTC according to DaVinci? So, we've talked a lot. Obviously, we've got a full team of traders and analysts. One thing that I do want to point out is that there is a lot of technicals that do support and do point to a pretty significant pullback. I have been talking about not the danger, but the possibility of a pullback to retest the weekly levels of our weekly baselines for quite a while now. So nothing would surprise me. And again, rating liquidity, grabbing these highs, seeing this increase in longs is exactly what you would look to see would that happen. Now, I will leave the head of that trade, so entering into the reversal now, to the reversal traders. I don't think that we're entering into a bad precipice to be putting on a short position or at least hedging up your position. But in fact, depending on what the candle close does today, we might be looking to hedge up. But I will leave the full risk trades to the reversal traders, and I will wait for the close below the baseline. But yes, I will say that there are a lot of technicals that do point us down to a retrace around 8,000. So I have nothing wrong with that. Not the style that I trade, but good analysis nonetheless. All right, so having looked at the S&P, we're going to go ahead and go to break, guys. And before we go to break, I just want to say, as a public service announcement, if you are tired of getting wicked out of your position on BitMEX, if you're tired of your orders not getting filled, or if you're tired of all the unsavory shenanigans in general over there on BitMEX, and you're fed up with BitMEX for the exact reasons why I got fed up with BitMEX and decided to migrate off to a different or over to a different platform, but you still want to trade Bitcoin futures on a platform that you can trust, is easy to use, and has great customer service, you can use our link and sign up at ByBit, which is where we trade, which is where we're currently doing our trading competition at bybit.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Clicking on that link or using our affiliate link will allow you to get up to $60 in funds to trade and test the platform out. So check that out if you guys want to support the channel or switch over to a better platform yourself. That's bybit.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Link in the description down below. We've gone over the S&P. When we return, we're going to go over traditional markets, metals, commodities, oil, and foreign currency markets, Forex. And we're also going to engage with the chat and do your user-submitted chat requests, as well as cover the big news of the day. We're going to talk about Bitcoin IRAs. We're going to talk about options contracts in cryptocurrency. JP Morgan kind of going live with a JP Morgan coin. And passive income from cryptocurrency that you can obtain, well, maybe tomorrow. So anyways, guys, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Make sure to like, follow, share, thumbs up, and engage in the live chat if you want to support the show. Don't go anywhere. And we are back, guys. Thank you so much for hanging in there. Okay, sorry, guys. Something about the summer air, a little bit of congestion this morning. All right. So we're going to continue right along. We're going to go through our traditional markets. We're going to go through commodities, oils, metals, and Forex for you guys. We already went over the S&P, gave our prognostication on that. Dory, if you post a link like that again, I'm going to ban you from the chat. Keep the shilling to your own channel, please. All right. Let's go ahead, and we've got the chart pulled open here. Things look good. So let's go to metals, commodities, and oil. So we'll start off with metals. Actually, sorry, no. Sorry. We need to go to do our CME E-minis. We need to do our CME E-minis. So traditional markets. Now, we just talked about the S&P. Let's talk about the SP contract, the E-mini future on the S&P or on the CME. We did get our sensitive exit signal yesterday. As we can see, Minx crossing underneath the noise level right here, crossing back into static, which is your signal to exit. As we can see, RVGI lagging a little bit behind because, again, we got our initial long signal over here, which RVGI is plotting. RVGI will not be able to generally act as a reliable indicator. Sometimes it can for continuation longs. It depends on momentum and length of trend. But we can see that RVGI actually told you to get out on this gap up to the upside, as you can see right here, crossed under on this candle. So getting you out at a very good price had you entered into your futures contract long here on the same candle that the continuation long would have got you in, and you would have had to rely on your sensitive stop loss because RVGI is going to be plotted to your long, your initial entry, and not your primary. So keep that in mind as we move along. As we can see, we also got the 1355 exponential moving edge cross. 1355 exponential moving average crossover on this candle, another entry signal for those trading that strategy or that entry indication. It's very not sensitive. It is very lagging, but it does well. Doznal, Minx indicator along with Quadrigo ATR, Quadrigo position sizing, and time transformation, as well as all our educational content, our course, our Discord community, all at the link at the top of the screen, my good friend, premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Let's see here. So S&P getting, however you want to slice it, continuation long and taking profit on the close of yesterday's candle, keeping us safe from this dump. So Again, been very bullish on the S&P, the NQ, and the Dow, as well as the Russell, and now time to take profit as it was yesterday. Same thing for the NQ long. Again, initial long here. We got the pullback where we would have entered, continuation long about a week ago, and price pushing up on the close of this candle, getting us out, sensitive stop loss, getting us out right where it should. Beautiful trade again on the NQ. Shout out to all our traditional traders following along. Continuation long here and getting out at a good profit again on the Dow. And looking over at the Russell 1000, very similar initial long signal over here. I think we had all three of three take profits on this. And had you not, you still would have got out on the close of this candle. Beautiful. In fact, RVGI got you out here. Had you listened to that, it would have been a good exit regardless. You would have missed out on a little up thrust right here, and that's fine. Sensitive kept you out the whole trade, so that's good. RVGI getting you out, though. Looking at VIX for the day, VIX is actually getting up into 16, so actually kind of dangerous volatility when we get up into 16 on the VIX, so just be careful. And looking at our GLD trades, having a little bit of a pullback, but again, the continuation long still stands. MINX signaling an exit on today's candle close. So again, continuation long entered on the close of this candle, and you would have got to wake up to this beautiful, massive gap moving up here on GLD Commodities. Again, we don't trade GLD Commodities because they're section 1256. I digress. So let's get into our precious metals now. Over here to Zao. Again, still riding this continuation long from a few days ago. If we take a look at MINX, MINX is still not signaling an early exit. We do get this massive volume spike, which probably pushed us up into our last. Let's take a look. Yeah, we have hit all three of three take profits. So if you would now have a trailing stop loss or trailing take profit rolling with you. So potentially probably got triggered on this up thrust and pullback right now. So you are most likely out of your Zao trade over there on Awanda. So congratulations. Palladium continues to look very, very well. Of course, we did get the sensitive exit signal earlier. RVGI getting us out on this candle. A little bit of a last final up thrust and price consolidating. I talked about buying physical palladium quite a while ago. I'm still sitting on that. Not going to sell it. That's part of an investment. Let's see. Oh, man. Slice DIY guy says, Red 5. How is shorting every $100 going for you? Sorry, man. Red 5, good to see you in here, brother. All right. So Palladium, getting the exit signal. Either way, we would be out of our Palladium long. Looking over at silver, it is true that silver is lagging behind, but again, getting good indications and still quite bullish on silver. However, on today's candle, we are getting the exit signal from MINX telling us to go ahead and take profit on our long. We are also not quite getting the signal from RVGI. Keep in mind, we are riding a continuation long, so we do want to be doing MINX. And platinum continues to be, I've said this for like 2 weeks now, do nothing with platinum. Platinum is not a trade. Don't take a platinum trade. Gold to silver was a continuation long over here, which was a beautiful trade waking up to this. We just hit 3 of 3 take profits. And again, most likely your trailing stop loss just got hit on this up thrust and pullback. Bentley crude has not yet signaled an exit, so I'm still long on Bentley crude. Looking over at our commods, corn, nothing to do. We've talked about this for a while. Actually, interesting. We are getting a continuation long. Wadatar is not confirming. In fact, Wadatar is signaling a short. So take that as you will. Discretionary position sizing. Natural gas was a short the last time I checked. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Natural gas was a exit your short, so we can see a take profit short right here. Take profit on your short. I did talk about taking the reversal trade off of the baseline. I don't think you would have hit your first take profit had you entered at this close. I don't think you would have made any money on the down thrust. You'd still be at break even. So yes, still a short from what I see, but not a active signal at this point in time unless you're just taking the reversal trade. Soybeans, sugar, neither of them are take any action trades. West Texas oil, still very bullish on West Texas oil. And wheat is the only thing that did generate a continuation long signal. Discretionary position sizing, WADA did not confirm, so take that into account. And we already looked at the S&P 500. So that's metals, commodities, and oil. Getting into our major Forex markets for the day, looking at the Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie gave a continuation long signal the other day, having a bit of a pullback on it. Still not hit our stop loss, still above the baseline, so just a drawdown trade. Euro CAD, nothing to do on the Euro CAD. Euro Swissy continues to be a short. The Euro Kiwi is definitely a losing trade. If you would have taken the continuation long here, you would have just woken up to a losing trade on the Euro NZD. You haven't quite hit your stop loss yet, so the opportunity still exists for you to get out with less of a loss just by dint of closing below the baseline. But however you want to slice it, that is a losing trade. Euro pound continues to be a continuation long, generating some pips for us. The euro yen is still a do-nothing trade. The euro dollar, we talked about it being a long the other day. Again, hard to catch on our system, so we'll wait for the pullback or the continuation signal. The pound kiwi, we talked about the short yesterday. Again, waking up to some good pips. So overall, the Forex market seeing a pullback. It depends on the currency pair you're trading against. Okay. Pound CAD continues to be a continuation short. Pound Aussie is signaling a short on today's candle with everything firing, looking very good for a pound Aussie short. The pound Swissy continues to be a good short, actually getting a sensitive exit signal now on the pound Swissy. The pound yen is a do nothing. The pound dollar continues to be a long, even though we are in drawdown. The Kiwi dollar continues to be a long, which we've hit take profit 1. It's now a no loss trade. Kiwi CAD is a do nothing trade. Kiwi Swissy is do nothing. Kiwi yen is going to be a long signal on the close of today's candle. Dollar CAD continues to be a short. Our sensitive stop loss has fired, so we should be out in profit. If you're respecting the sensitive or are less sensitive, our VGI still has us in the trade. Dollar Swissy continues to be a short, and so does the dollar yen. So we'll stop our analysis there. I do want to jump down to the dollar yuan. The dollar yuan is having a pullback on our short, actually getting a take profit on your short signal here after taking the short trade over here. We've hit, I think, 3 of 3 take profits on that, potentially only 2 of 3. So so congratulations to you guys taking the dollar yuan short. All right, so let me take a drink here. And we'll get into the breaking news of the day, guys, as well as our thoughts on it. Okay, it is... So, BitcoinIRA and BitGO are launching an insured IRA. That's an individual retirement fund, basically. Composed entirely of crypto. So BitcoinIRA has launched the first self-directed cryptocurrency IRA. It's an individual retirement account. IRAs, I already said that, sorry. So this is a self-directed investment. So this is kind of interesting, meaning you tell the company what funds you want in your account, and they procure the funds and store it for you. You send BitcoinIRA money, and they do all the work. So we talked about the need for crypto insurance to legitimize and increase safety for exchanges. Well, now we have a real-life example of how that works and how it is beneficial and more official in the space. So apropos to that, the company does possess a $100 million insurance fund to protect their assets, as well as offering a 30% discount to its users on fees associated with wallets. Now, you can currently diversify your cryptocurrency IRA with this company with 12 different cryptocurrencies, including obviously the majors: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Zcash, Stellar, Ethereum Classic, and Ripple, including a few others. Now, custody is handled by BitGO, who have, to their credit, been quite proficient in custodial solutions for cryptocurrency over the past few years. Funds are going to be protected via cold storage in a quote, secure bank quality vault offline in South Dakota. They also claim to exceed regulators' demands for capitalization and insurance for a venture of this type. Now, when your family asks you how they get involved with cryptocurrency, you can direct them to BitcoinIRA. This is going to be fantastic for older individuals or those looking for a more secure, insured, capitalized way to support the space. So this is just another reference for growth. This is just another reference for adoption. We continue to see this every single day. Obviously, anytime you get a bullish surge in cryptocurrency, you're going to see an increase of cryptocurrency companies come out. You're going to see an addition of cryptocurrency offerings. You're always going to see this. But when I see things like this, which are harbingers of exactly what I've talked about before, about the need for insurance in the space and real custodial solutions to handle this for individuals. And again, regardless how you feel about that, if you want investors to get involved with the space, custody needs to be solved. Custody needs to be an option. Now, that does not mean that for a cryptocurrency, because again, you guys know how fundamentally I do support Bitcoin. Obviously, the true power and the true freedom comes from holding your own funds and being your own bank. But here's the reality. For investors, they don't care about that. They just want to make money. And as a Bitcoin enthusiast, so should you. You should want there to be money in the space. You should want there to be more development, because the more people involved with something, the greater the number of developers that you have, the greater number of individuals that you have involved in the space to improve the space for checks and balances, for new offerings, for exciting ideas, and overall to legitimize the space. And adoption is what happens that makes this the Bitcoin dream, that makes the Bitcoin dream be realized. So I'm totally behind innovations and institutions like this doing these things, because a lot of the people who just run around and bang the decentralized be your own bank drum, which I do support and which I do, say that, well, this is BS because there's custody. Okay, man, custody is not important to you, but it is very important to institutional investors and general investors. Your grandparents are not going to go through the process of setting up a cold wallet. They're not going to go through the process of a hardware wallet. They're not going to understand how to secure cryptocurrency because they're not as technologically proficient as you. So don't try to force yourself on them or anybody else who doesn't care to want to learn this. They don't have to. Like, make it easy for individuals to participate in cryptocurrency and improve the space. And that is how you get mass adoption, not by being elitist. Not by being elitist. Okay. Let's see here. This is the BitcoinIRA website. You guys can come over here and sign up if you want, if you're interested. Now, full disclaimer, this next new segment we're going to talk about does concern a token offering. We have not received any payment for discussing this, nor is this a recommendation to purchase or participate in this company's STO. This is a neutral review of a news article for the purposes of talking about passive cryptocurrency income, not directly related to the token offering, but directly related to mining, delegated proof of stake, and staking. With that disclaimer, we're going to be talking about INDX. So INDX, which is a London-based crypto passive income fund, has released a report comparing traditional income assets with their crypto counterparties. So for those of you who are interested in crypto as a passive income source, this might be a good read for you. You can find the link in the show notes after the show at breakingbitcoin.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Now, this report compares the performance of government bonds, tracker funds, and peer-to-peer lending against staking, masternodes, and delegated proof of stake. Now, the report concludes that the technical setups and operational challenges, such as managing wallets, hosting servers, and applying critical updates, tend to keep crypto passive income investments out of reach from most, if not all, of the savviest computer and crypto investors. However, what the report determines is that the yields, the gains from investing in these types of things, do far outweigh the pain of setting them up, as we have seen time over time. Now, INDX is a fund. They are going to be launching their STO on July 1st, 2019. They do have a token offering. Their business model is by being invested heavily in staking, masternodes, and delegated proof of stake, and 50% of the quarterly profits from their ventures are distributed to index holders as a dividend. The other 50% is to be reinvested back into the portfolio to grow the net asset value, aka the NAV. Now, INDX is backed by VC Iconic Labs. They've been audited. They are regulatory compliant. They have regulatory compliance for their STO. They're incorporated in London. Owners of the token can log into their dashboard and choose to receive their dividends in Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDC, or USDT, with dollars, euros, and pounds to be added later. Now, you do have to be a qualified investor to participate in the STO. So if this is something you're interested in, make sure that you are complying with the regulation of the nationality. Now, having said that, and here's their website over here. It's indx.capital. So, having said that, This is the future of investments, is things like this. Now, this is not a recommendation. I have literally no opinion on INDX as an individual platform. I have not done my research on their individuals. I just find this interesting. But projects like this, especially when we start seeing these launched on regulated exchanges in the United States, right? Exchange-traded funds, tracker funds, baskets, and funds of this nature. This is the future of investments. Crypto is the future. Crypto is going to be one of the most lucrative, if not the most lucrative, passive forms of income for the foreseeable future. Mining, delegated proof of stake, masternodes, staking in general. The bear market aside, which made a lot of people just gave trauma to a lot of people who were just continue to run around and bang the drum that crypto is a scam and they're idiots in the first place. Crypto is not a pipe dream. It is the future. And increased regulation and offerings like this, whether they come in the form of STOs, which is currently the new Hail Mary for ICOs, basically, or whether it takes a more traditional route. But regardless, it'll still be a fund. It'll still be a wrapped investment. It'll still be a blended investment, however you want to slice it, however you want to call it. This does clear up the space, provide more regulatory certainty, and provide more legitimate opportunities for traditional and new investors alike, regardless of the generation, regardless of personal feelings about cryptocurrency. All right, so Tony Vice say we going down to 1K, but Mr. Novogratz say we are offering options. So Mike Novogratz needs no introduction. He is the champion hype man of cryptocurrency. So his Galaxy Digital Crypto Bank is going to be offering crypto options contracts trading. So options contracts, for those of you who do not know, are a way to hedge against high volatility with two types of contracts, calls and puts. They're also a way to generate profit out of the income. Terrion, thank you so much for the follow over there on Twitch, my good friend. Welcome to the community. So options contracts are typically a way to hedge or accrue profit out of markets with high volatility with two types of contracts, calls and puts. Calls are, in the simplest terms, a right to buy at a predetermined price by a predetermined time, whereas a put is the right to sell at a predetermined price by a predetermined time. So I don't know how many of you have ever done sports betting, for example, but it's very similar to like a pick two, where you have to pick the over under and then spread. So, very similar, like, on traditional sports betting, if you do a pick two, you're going to be like, well, I think the Raiders are going to win. And then you also have to pick the over under. So they're going to win by more than 7 points or less than 7 points. And you have to get both right to actually win the bet. This is how traditional bookies do things. This is also how traditional casinos do things as well. But I repeat myself, bookies and casinos. So options are really no different. You have the right to sell at a certain price. There's implied volatility. There's a lot of statistics going into options trading. And demand for options trading has been increasing exponentially among crypto investors. And currently, there are only a handful of somewhat legitimate, somewhat not legitimate contracts or options contracts available to crypto traders. Deribit being the most notable, but you're not going to get institutional or legit or real bigwig investors in America, especially, to go on Deribit. It's just not going to happen. If they have to do anything behind a VPN, they're just not going to do it. So options are very popular, specifically amongst American traders, especially due to volatility. Now, this is due to the regulation that followed the financial crisis of 2008, after which CFDs, or contracts for difference, were banned in the United States. Now, I am very much not a fan of this regulation, as CFDs did and still do dramatically reduce the friction, cost, and opportunity loss to retail traders. It's not the government's job to ban CFDs in any nationality just because lots of people lost money. Lots of people lost money anyways. Lots of people will still lose money every single day because most individuals just do not take the time, patience, and discipline to learn how to trade properly. That's why I'm so passionate about what we do in the group. That's why I'm so passionate about the education that we provide. And again, you can just see the results. Our results stand for themselves. Our retention rate stands for themselves. And the amazing community that we have absolutely stands for itself. So this is why I hungrily look at CFDs available on my broker, Owanda, and continue to plot and chart them every day, with a long-term plan to do everything legitimately. So this is just the first of many regulated traditional offerings to crypto investors that Americans will be able to legally participate in. So our space continues to grow, opportunities to continue to develop, and honestly, just waking up to this news every single day, it's pretty awesome, man. It's pretty awesome. Other notable mentions in the news. So over 2,000 investors backed Kraken, the Kraken crypto exchange's $13 million crowdfunding. The privacy coin Zcash, we talked about this yesterday about the electric coin company issuing a ultimatum to the Zcash community, basically figure out how we're going to be monetized or we're out. So the Zcash entire architecture is going to be rebuilt because it was a failure, says an analyst. So that was a notable mention in the news. Other notable mentions are, we talked about this at the tease. So TechCrunch founder sells a $1.6 million house on a crypto real estate platform as well. All right. So having said that, we're going to go from news into your user-submitted chart requests, also engage with the chat. We're also going to kick the tunes on. And before we do that, one of the questions that I often receive is, Justin, how do you manage multiple trades? How do you use advanced order features? How do you do everything that you do and manage multiple markets and trade the way that you do? Well, I use it with the help of a powerful tool. The tool that I use is 3 Commas. If you guys want to use the tools of a professional and learn to trade like a professional, 3 Commas is definitely something that needs to be a part of your arsenal. If you guys would like to try a free trial of 3 Commas, you can use our link. That is 3commas.crackingcryptocurrency.com. That's 3commas.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Moving right along to your user submitted chart requests and chat engagement. So all we have right now that I can see is ZERP Bitcoin to ZERP Oost requested by Phillip Kruger. So if you guys have something you guys would like us to look at, then let me know and I'd be happy to look at the chart. AK11MK says, who would have thought you had a voice? Keep singing, keep singing. I still do actually a little bit. So I've played in multiple bands throughout my life, and I've always been guitar player, lead singer. So I don't think it's as good as it is now. But thank you so much for noticing, man. Highly appreciate it. Okay. Oh, I also wanted to say not to miss anything. William ICG, thank you so much for the follow over there on DLive, my good friend. Welcome to the party. All right, so it is 1:30, and let's go ahead and start off with that ZERP. So we'll start off with ZERP Bitcoin. ZERP obviously doing some exciting things through the morning hours. Now, we did actually get a continuation short signal on ZERP Bitcoin and ZERP M19 yesterday at the close of yesterday's candle. It is not a trade that I took. Obviously, in retrospect, every time you see a trade that you got a signal for that you didn't take, you're like, I should have taken that trade. So shout out to all the guys who were practicing PTP, using the right tools, and properly took that trade. Again, I was just I'm just too extended in the trades that I'm in, so just didn't have room to put the trade onto my list, so I ran it through the filtration process, and it didn't make the cut when we run up against our more advanced filters for looking at what we're going to put on. Welcome to crypto. How does 3 Commas not stop you out on wicks? I understand the basic principles, but can you explain that, and how often have you actually utilized that? I utilize that feature on every single trade that I put on. So it is called the stop, what's the word that they use for it? It's called the stop loss timeout. Stop loss timeout is the syntax that they use. Sorry, I had to look up here at 3 Commas. So it's called stop loss timeout. And basically what it says is that should price go below your stop loss level, it has to stay underneath your stop loss level for a specified amount of time. So typically I'm going to do anything from 1 to 5 minutes, depends on the volatility of the coin. So i.e. price has to actually go below and close a 1 to 5 minute candle below my stop loss before my level actually triggers. So if you get a big wick that just dumps and then gets right back up, your stop loss will not trigger and you will stay in the trade. And I cannot tell you how much money that has saved me over time. How much money that has saved me over time. That is literally the best feature that exists in the space. Stop loss timeout. Close seconds are trailing take profit, and obviously the ability to do what you should be able to do normally on any exchange, which is set your stop loss and take profit simultaneously. They also have a trailing buy feature, which is really, really neat too. Do I have any educational material on PTP trading? Yes. Yes. I have many, many hours of documents, video and audio coursework, quizzes, walkthroughs, premium webinars, as well as an entire community designed to help walk you through the process. At premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com is how you can sign up for that. Yes, sir. Or ma'am. Don't want to assume your gender. So ZERP Bitcoin is nothing but a short, gave a continuation short signal yesterday. So again, you trade in the direction of the trend. As we can see, price below the baseline, you only are looking to take shorts. And again, I can understand, oh, look how far price is below the baseline. That's too far. Price is going to pull back. Well, then you wake up to this. You take the signals that your strategy gives you and you make money over time. That's the way that it works. Looking at ZERP oozed over there on the BitMEX chart, we did get a take profit long signal on ZERP used yesterday after a pretty big wick to the downside and continuing to just go ahead and pull its way on down. We did exit out of our ZERP USD position at a very small loss, so we went long on ZERP USD here off the continuation long signal. And as you can see, we got the take profit long signal. We got out at the close, so it was only about a 1.56% loss. And I'm glad that we did that because price pulling back down now. Volume giving you an exit, Tar giving you an exit, RVGI finally crossing over on today's candle as well. I want to say, again, I'm biased to the long side because ZERP USD is above the baseline. However, no signal to go for right now. And again, our reversal indicators are firing. We are getting the take profit long signal. Our VGI is crossing to the underside. So I don't see a trade to put on here, especially on the daily. Of course, we'll have to wait for all the data for the daily candle close. Moving to the 12-hour chart. 12-hour chart, double pullback down to the daily baseline. Again, those of you who want to take a reversal trade off the baseline have been able to snag about 4 to 5% profit on each little movement there. Going down to the 4-hour. Long signal here. Long signal here that Tar did not confirm, as you can see. So we wouldn't have taken that. And a short signal here that WADA did confirm. Volume did confirm as well. So potentially you would have gone short right here. And you'd be in a little bit of drawdown right now. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't really see a trade on the daily to take. And if I had to hazard a guess, going down to the 4-hour, I would say that we've gotten some okay. I'd say that your short trades, trend following short trades, haven't really worked out. Obviously, a short trade from the reversal take profit long would have been a good trade here. You would have made about 7% on ZERP USD. Yeah, and overall just consolidation. Typically an area to just stay out of the market and wait for a clear directional trend. Trade with caution, my good friend. Trade with caution. All right, Jai English, what's going on, my good friend? Can I please you look at NRG BTC? Can I please? Yes, I can. I don't believe that is on TradingView. So I'm going to have to go over to... oh, yeah, what's going on with that hero coin, man? Dump. Oh, man. Moving right along. You can buy it in gas stations, bro. Apparently, you can sell it in gas stations, too. All right, moving right along. Let's go over to NRG BTC. Are you also getting hit up in the Discord with continuous NRG deposits? I keep getting, again, I never am going to snatch away from good crypto. But, yeah, I've been getting rained on with NRG over and over and over again for the past few weeks in Discord. Looks like it's about time to go sell it. Up about 250% here, and that's pretty much it. Price looks good, man. We're above the baseline. I would highly be surprised if we do not get some sort of significant pullback after a big move like that. But again, you guys should definitely be taking profit on the way up. If you guys don't want to sell your whole bag of NRG, just take some profit off the table for the love of God. Move your stop loss to break even. After a big move like that, you typically want, that's a 30% movement up over the last 4 days. You're up over 80%. Don't be greedy. Take half your profit off the table, man. Take half your profit off the table. Doesn't matter if it runs up 1,000%. You're at 80%. That is life-changing money. Take half your money off the table. Move your stop loss to break even. Or set a trailing stop, which is probably even better. DIY guy. That's racist. JT, you know, that's why we got to shave, man. That's why we got to shave the head, because the brain needs ventilation, brother. Asda Assis says, can you make a summary of technicals that point to Bitcoin having a potential pullback? Yep, did that for the first hour of today's video. If you'd like to rewind and check that out, and that's right there for you, always will be. It's still racist, bro. Okay. Now, moving right along, looking at NRG, looks like a profit opportunity taking profit opportunity. But I repeat myself. Let's see. When would we gotten some long signals on Mr. NRG here on the daily? Well, CCI would have given us a long signal here. MFI would have given us a long signal here. Volume oscillator would have confirmed both those signals, and as you can see, CI is still above the 0 line, MFI is still above the 50 line, so both acting as very, very good entry indicators when used as a centered oscillator, as they goddamn well should be. We can see the price does close below the baseline here, and then when it pops back up, we can re-enter because our indications are still telling us take the trade. Now, let's say that we do wait for volume confirmation, then we enter on this candle right here with the volume oscillator getting back above the 0 line. And either way you want to slice it, however you would have done it, this would have been a beautiful entry opportunity. So, I mean, really, we're sniveling about the 10% the price kind of did in its wibble wobble here, which doesn't matter. These candles are what really mattered. All this entry was for this movement right here. So now that you have the movement, take the money. Take the money! All right. Yeah, I agree, man. I don't understand the question, JT. So it's going to depend on how fast. I mean, that's a technical question that you're asking. I don't work for 3 commas, brother. I just use it every single day in my trading. I mean, if you want to compare the network speed on how fast your order is inputted into the market, as opposed to it natively being executed on Binance, you need to talk to a developer, man. I don't have the answer to that question. I can tell you that it's not a problem, I guess, because that question sounds like, well, but then aren't my trades going to be delayed? I've never noticed it. Never. So the answer is no from a practical standpoint. But if you want like a technical answer, like, well, like how many megabytes per second is this request submitted to the exchange and executed? I don't have that answer, man. Moving right along. So, Jai English, we covered NRG. Gui, what's up, man? Can you do total market cap, DA? Looks that fibs are higher up, so it seems if Bitcoin dominance continues going higher, Bitcoin might really go to 61.8. Also, the shitcoin indicator was updated. Awesome, man. I haven't really had a chance to look at the magical shitcoin indicator. It is on my list. I've been working on some module stuff this week, as well as the Advanced Trading Journal, and working with a couple of our members. In fact, I've got to start knocking that out. I've got to put more work into that after the show today, which is going to be my big project for the day. And then, of course, my dad calls me and he's like, Justin, I want to go into town. I want to go shopping for a deep freeze. When can we do that? When do you want to go? So that's my day. Moving on. Mart Mo, I just got done with ZERP UST, my good friend. No, I'm referring to the wicks stopping you out. So price So price has to be below your stop loss level for 5 minutes. And if it is at that price, you're executed with a market order. Any lag is still better than system overload, which I've, system overlord. I don't know if that's a typo, but that's funny, dude. That is funny. Because that's exactly what it feels like when you're trading on BitMEX. It's like you keep getting the system overload, system overload, system overload, system overload. And it's just like, whales will execute orders and you shall not. So JT, that feature only literally works on stop losses. It is called stop loss timeout. So it's only on your stop loss order that you set independently of your take profits. So no. If you set a take profit market order, it executes as a market order when price reaches that level. Did I talk about the ByBit competition? I sure did, Shane Overton. Because ByBit has to do the leaderboards manually, they're gonna update the leaderboards every 3 days. It's not the best thing that we could possibly have. It'd be nice to have an automated leaderboard. So we're gonna do another competition probably here in a few months, depends on what they're willing to do with us. But by the time we do another trading competition, we're gonna have an automated leaderboard that we're gonna be able to point to every day. But the first update that I get from ByBit, because right now they have to have a staff member go through and look at the accounts and see the growth of equity. JLD, no. We advertised the trading competition for over a week, and registration closed Monday at 5 a.m. UTC, 10 a.m. UTC, something like that. It's 10 a.m. UTC? I think it was 10 a.m. UTC. Maybe it's 8 a.m. UTC. I know it's 5 o'clock in the morning my time, so. No, it's cool, JT. Thank you for the questions, man. I really, really do appreciate questions. It helps me work things out better in my head. And then again, you have no idea who's watching that really wants the answer to that question as well. So can I do TA on total crypto market cap? Yes, but I stopped doing that for the very reason that it's the same as charting Bitcoin, man. So, in practice. But we'll do the million red strings on the board. Total. For me, man, there's so my technical analysis is going to be different from I think what you want, because I don't use fibs, I don't use trend lines, I don't use drawings, I don't like that stuff. I will use it for the purposes of demonstration. So, let's talk about from a weekly perspective where price is likely to pull back to as far as. But again, this is what I'm looking at right now is the Bitcoin chart. So there's really no reason to chart this independently. It is interesting to look at, and I've looked at it before, but that's the realization that I've come to in my head. So on the weekly time level, we are looking at a potential 26 to 36% pullback to retest these two levels, which is similar to what we did when the market broke out in the first place over here, when the bull run began back in 2015. So we didn't quite pull back all the way down to the 55 weekly, although we kind of did. So as you can see, the first time that we broke above the weekly 55, we had a pretty significant pullback. Then we had the moving average crossover, and then we had a pretty big pullback and consolidation for almost 2 months at the 13. Then a big push up, then a lot of consolidation. Then we go into the races. That's a scam. Wick. Now, that's a scam. Wick. Moving right along. So you can see that we really haven't had that significant pullback yet. So again, you're going to see all the traditional, the same reversal type patterns that you're going to see initially that you will see when a reversal is completed, but you never know during the moment whether there's no such thing as a confirmed reversal, right? Because patterns can print themselves in an almost infinite amount of ways. The market is unique. Every single moment in the market is unique, and the market can express itself in an almost infinite number of possible ways. Shout out to Mark Douglas. Have I heard of Zulu Trade? I have not. No thoughts on Zulu Trade. JT, if you utilize their live chat feature and it needs to escalate to that level, that is where you will find that information. Yeah, I know absolutely, literally nothing about Zulu Trade. From JT's question, it's where you can trade stocks using leveraged crypto. So basically like one broker. No, thank you. One broker got stopped by the government, and if Zulu Trade is doing the same thing, so will it. So Bit7, Prime XBT, all these websites that are that are literally targeting Americans and saying, are you an American and you want to trade leveraged cryptocurrency futures contracts and you can't trade on BitMEX, you need VPN, come trade on us. All your money's going to be gone, dude. That website is going to be shut down. You're going to log onto that website one day and it's just going to have a big old FBI sticker on it saying, this site has been shut down by the FBI, just like Silk Road. And again, I'm supportive of the darknet markets. I really am, from a libertarian standpoint. Those things shouldn't be illegal, and people should be free to engage in commerce however they want. It's not the government's job to regulate that shit. That should be completely out of commerce. But again, I don't do substances, so take that as you will. What's the other thing I was going to say? Just like one broker got shut down, Prime XBT, Bit7. It's too good to be true, guys. It is too good to be true. There is no legal way. So that's not true. There are legal ways that an American can trade on BitMEX and ByBit. Okay. But the websites like Bit7 and Prime XBT, are there any long-term coins I've invested in? Nope. Besides Bitcoin, then no. No. Bitcoin. Jerome Powell is discussing the U.S. economy at the moment live. So, okay, let's look at NeoUSD for blockchain gains as we get into the last 10 minutes of the show today, guys. NeoUSD over there on Bitfinex. It's pumping, dude. I'm really, really bullish on Neo right now. NeoUSD got the continuation long trade here. You're up about 8%, almost 9% from the top of the wick on that trade. Probably already hitting take profit one. Let's take a gander. ATR would have jumped up quite a bit. Yeah, you hit take profit one already. Your trade's a no-loss trade. Got the initial long signal over here on the 12th of June, and you would have caught all of this, getting about 24%. Your trailing take profit running on this baby right there. Beautiful trade, man. Neo's looking great. Again, look. So let me tell you guys about trend following trading. So most people are going to be petrified to take a long after a candle like that. I waited for the signal. I went long on this candle right here, the pullback to the baseline and the long signal from my system. Took the long trade, confirmed by WADA ATAR. You can see that right there. Confirmed by volume oscillator, and waking up to 10% profit on my Neo BTC trade. So I don't trade on Bitfinex. Did I take the Neo BTC trade? No. But did I take the Neo USD trade? No. But I took the Neo BTC trade, so that's good. I got a lot of USDT trades going on. You're darn right, man. Dark web, yes, but no hello jokes. Ken D says, legit question, I'm not a troll. It's totally cool, man. BSV, technically speaking, does look like the superior coin, regardless of Craig. Right, why is Bitcoin better? Yes, I own Bitcoin, not BSV. So allow me to be an asshole and answer your question with a question. In what way is BSV a technically superior coin? So, I'll tell you. Let me just give you my argument, and then I can hear from you. So, regardless of how it appears technically superior on paper, the BSV doesn't have some key things that Bitcoin does, and those are what's more important. And that is the mining network, i.e., the security against government attack. So, literally, the BSV mining network is a joke. The government, or really a kid with a computer, a kid with a laptop, could 51% attack their network if they wanted to. All they would need is some more machines. It wouldn't take that much money. Probably take a couple $1 million. Bitcoin, on the other hand, I mean, all of China can't do that shit. So there is the network effect, and that is what Bitcoin possesses. Bitcoin has the most secure, fully decentralized cryptocurrency in the world because it was allowed to grow and spread across the entire world and grow a network. And the purpose of that network is to prevent governments from attacking and taking the network down. BSV does not have that. BSV will not grow that because we are past the point where I think that cryptocurrencies can actually grow to build such a stable network without malfeasance from government agencies. Okay, so Bitcoin was allowed to grow and build the network security and stability and elasticity that it has now because the government's largely ignored it for the better part of a decade. And now that people cannot ignore cryptocurrency, I find it very difficult, if not impossible, for another cryptocurrency to be truly decentralized in that same fashion with that same level of security. Again, other cryptocurrencies I'm not saying aren't secure, but when it comes to what the world currency that is decentralized needs to be, that is run on math, that is independent and designed to be government hard by design, you need the network. It doesn't matter how good the code is. You need the network. You need the social support. You need the actual mining community. And Bitcoin has that and Bitcoin SV does not. Bitcoin SV mining, if you want to make the argument that Bitcoin mining is centralized, which it's not, Bitcoin mining is not centralized in China. That's a fucking bullshit, dumbest thing I've ever heard. Pull up your stats. Bitcoin SV is... and sorry for that vitriol. I am trying to be objective about this. Bitcoin SV is heavily centralized as far as its mining goes. Bitcoin SV is not, code-wise, a bad project. It's not a bad idea. You could argue that it is a cleaner implementation of the Bitcoin code. But one main reason that it is inferior is because of the network support. Bitcoin has the first mover advantage. In addition to the team of developers and just, I mean, it kind of comes down to the social aspect, man. Bitcoin Core, as I'll call it, which is just Bitcoin, but whatever, Bitcoin Core, has a better team of developers that have a better track record, that have a better standing in the eyes of the community, that have a proven track record of doing good things for the community, that are very public with what they do. I mean, can you name one BSV developer? Or their history or their track record? But, you know, again, I understand I understand. If we again, you might even be able to make that argument that just if you just looked at the code, this is cleaner and simpler, blah blah blah. JT, I'm going to allow that. That was pretty funny. All right, moving along. ADA USD for Phillip Kruger over on Kraken. Yeah. Is that where you're trading ADA USD? Maybe you're trading on Bittrex. About the same price. Cardano USD gave a long signal over here on the 22nd, which ran up about 10%, so I'm sure securing you some profits. Price has since pulled back down just a little bit below your entry price, so however you want to slice it, we would be out of the trade. Bias to the long side because price is above the baseline, but Minx is giving you an early exit. RVGI is not. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Medical Crypto. Bitcoin miners could switch over, but it is not a moot point because you are ignoring the social aspect of it. Because it's not just it is not what people are describing it as. Oh, it's just a switch for the coders. It's no big deal. No, because these are human beings who have connections and relationships in the cryptocurrency community. And for the majority of them, their actions are not going to be completely independent of their lives and their role in society. So they're going to have to justify to themselves why they're doing this. It is not just a cold static idea on a piece of paper of what actually generates more profit. For some it will be, for a lot it won't. There's something very special about Bitcoin, the BTC community, that the BSV community does not have. And that is its history, its track record, its team of developers. Because I'll tell you this, there are developers for Bitcoin that will not go work on BSV, and I think that BSV, even if the miners all switched over, would suffer as a result. So I would argue against your argument that my argument doesn't make sense. Because it's not just because I do not think that we can that you are I do not think that you are being or considering potentially all the possibilities when you say, well, it's just as simple as them switching over to Bitcoin SV. I mean, it is from theoretically, but it's not. That's like, I'm trying to think of a good example, but it would be like, okay, for example, and even though this might not be a good example, so it might be more accurate if we went back maybe like 10, 15, 20 years when sports teams and people that signed up for sports teams were a little bit more, the athletes who competed for sports teams were a little bit more invested in their team. Like maybe they're from that place, or, they're a big fan and they really make a big deal. So, LeBron James going from the Cavaliers to a different team or back to the Cavaliers. Yeah, it is just a switch on paper, but it's not, because it has a social impact. And I think that we would be digress if we did not take that into account. Ken D says, I did buy some BSV, but sold it for a profit of about... Oh, no, listen, guys. This is not a... So although I am supportive of Bitcoin, and I do stand on the side of Bitcoin Core in the whole BTC, ABC, BTC, BCH, ABC, BCH, SV versus BTC, I'm fully on the side of Bitcoin, i.e. Bitcoin Core, and a supporter of the Bitcoin Core developers. But this isn't like one of those places. Like, I don't really even think it's like there's no vitriol that needs to be applied to the BSV. In my eyes, I don't see anything wrong. Like, it's an open community. You guys are free to do whatever you want. There's free competition and open air in the marketplace. And I think that the good ideas overwhelm the bad ideas over time, and that's how things work out. And so we'll continue to try to be level-headed and honest and approach the idea with as much thought as we can. So yeah, I've traded Bitcoin SV, not since it went off Binance, because I only trade on the exchanges that I can trade on. But were I trading on Bitfinex, there would have been many opportunities I would have bought and traded BSV. I'm coin agnostic when it comes to my trading. Money is money, baby. All right, so with that, sorry guys, but we do got to slide on over. JLD all over, I'm sorry that I missed EOS, but we are on a timetable here and we do have to end the show. It is now 2 o'clock. So with that being said, all right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Of course, I have been your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at KrakenCryptocurrency.com. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. If you guys would like to receive access to our proprietary indicators, our custom strategies, our Pathways to Profit strategy building course, our support community, our private Discord community, as well as all our educational content in video and audio form, in addition to mentorship and reliable signals and setups from our team of analysts, you can, of course, join us in the premium trading group at premium.krakencryptocurrency.com. That's premium.krakencryptocurrency.com. Also, if you are often busy and not able to catch the live show, and you don't really like having YouTube open on your phone, maybe it's just inconvenient, and you are a podcast listener, then I highly recommend that you catch us up on Breaking Bitcoin Podcast. You guys can find all the show notes of today's show and previous show notes at breakingbitcoin.krakencryptocurrency.com. We are currently available on Google Music and Google Podcasts, as well as iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, and Spotify. So on Google, we are Cracking Cryptocurrency. Scott's working on fixing that. And on all the other podcasts, we are Breaking Bitcoin. You can download us manually if we are not on your favorite podcast catcher, and add us via the manual RSS feed. Again, all of that information, as well as today's show notes, are at breakingbitcoin.krakencryptocurrency.com. And we would highly appreciate it if you guys go over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review. Thank you so much for the support. Make sure to support the community by joining the Discord at discord.krakencryptocurrency.com, liking, following, subscribing, and engaging in the live chat and in the comments section, as well as in the Discord, because it's just as much about the conversation in the community as it is about the show. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Make sure to trade safely. And until the next episode, guys. Well, I said I already trade safely. Almost nailed it, right? Stuck the landing on that one, right? Thanks, guys. Until next time, trade safely.